So for years and years, I would religiously take handwritten notes. So for example, take these. These are my morning pages. I would wake up most mornings and then I would just write like pages and pages of just random handwritten notes on all sorts of things I'm thinking about. And same it would go for my property notes from my property business. You know, absolutely all sorts of stuff from journaling to property strategies, goal setting, whatever was on my mind or stuff I wanted to remember. Most of it was done via handwritten notes. More and more as time went on, I started taking more notes digitally, and fast forward all the way to today, I'd say I do about 90% of all of my notes completely digitally. So the question is, which one is better and why am I doing this split now? So I'd say handwritten notes pretty much got me through my entire engineering degree, which was pretty intensive, and I didn't really have a set procedure of how to take notes. What I would do is just kind of summarize what the lecturer was saying or what the textbook was saying in as much as I can from my own words, and then draw diagrams and then just kind of go back and review it from time to time. That was roughly the method I used. And there are very clear benefits to taking notes the analog way by hand, which I'm sure you've heard, and two of the major ones. Number one is the fact that handwriting activates more brain regions, so the brain region associated with movement, sensory inputs, so it just helps you solidify those connections stronger when you're comparing it to typing, so there is more engagement when you handwrite something. And number two is one I hear a lot, and it's this fact that because handwriting is much slower, it forces you more to process the information, really think about the information, to summarize it, and to write it in your own words, which of course is much more conducive to learning than, let's say, if you were able to type really fast, literally just typing what the lecturer says without really thinking about it, or what Zunki Ahrens calls elaboration. You will be more focused on the most relevant aspects, knowing that you cannot write down everything. You will read in a more engaged way, because you cannot rephrase anything in your own words if you don't understand what it is about. By doing this, you will elaborate on the meaning, which will make it much more likely that you will remember it. And another really big benefit to writing physically, particularly if it's a subject that contains some quite complex topics, for example, like engineering, where you need to draw diagrams and lines and things, I feel like writing by hand is actually a lot less restrictive. So, for example, take some of these property explainer notes that I would write. You know, I'd have sort of diagrams and things and arrows and stuff like this, which if you were to do it on a just a word processor or a, notepad or something like this, it doesn't have all of these tools, at least like not without a lot of friction anyway. Whereas on a piece of paper, I'm free just to draw anything I want and I can express these ideas in a much more natural way, which I think was really good for learning. However, even with all of these advantages, as time went on, I found myself gravitating more and more towards digital notes. For reference, before I actually go ahead and continue comparing these two methods, I actually think it's really important to talk about my personal use case. I personally haven't been a student for a very long time now, so I don't actually have any exams to take. I'm not taking these notes for any exams. I don't need to pass any exams. Where I'm coming from a note-taking perspective, is I would describe myself as an autodidact, which is someone who doesn't follow a set academic structure or learning plan. Basically, it's an autodidact is someone who is completely self-taught. I'm only really directed by my curiosity. What I find interesting, what I find really fun to read, what kind of ideas I want to expand upon and read upon, what I want to add to my slipbox, and really kind of just build up this interdisciplinary knowledge and just general life wisdom. Being able to apply ideas across many different domains. So absolutely everything from philosophy to psychology, economics, physics, and how all of these different ideas sort of intermingle. What I'm really not trying to do is just to remember a bunch of isolated facts, which I think is kind of pointless. It's more sort of general explanations that I'm seeking. In fact, this whole mindset of remembering loads and loads of raw facts directly goes against the whole ethos and philosophy behind the slipbox. So basically all of this to say is that you really have to think about your personal use case. So for my setup that I've got now, it really works for me as an autodidact. But if you are a student and if you have exams to pass and you have to regurgitate a load of facts, this system may not be best for you. So this is just something I wanted you to keep in mind. So I personally don't do flashcards or these artificial self-testing methods because, in my opinion, I just don't need it. I think it's kind of boring. I just follow what's fun because every time I need something, I don't need to just draw it out from my memory. I can just look in my slipbox and it's always going to be there in my personal case. For the things I want to write, for these videos I make, for my newsletter and stuff like this. So actually on that, a quick little plug. If you are interested more in epistemology, learning, connected ideas and building a second brain, all of this good stuff, I do actually write a free newsletter. So be sure to subscribe to that if you are interested. So going back to that point of handwritten notes having that advantage of forcing you to think about it a little bit more compared to typing, it is a valid point, I think, in a very generic sense. But in my specific case with the slipbox, it actually not only does it completely solve the issue, it actually takes it even a step further, and it forces you to think about it more, even in a deeper way than if you were handwriting. So let me show you how it works. So I have a vague note here about replication of genes and whether it benefits the individual versus the entire gene pool, stuff like this. And it's like a rough idea at the moment. So what I would do is I'll pull in all of these resources from multiple books. So as you can see here, I've got quotes here from this book called The Selfish Gene, Sovereign Individual, Beginning of Infinity. All of these notes are from different books that pull towards this one specific idea, this support this one specific idea. And it all discuss this topic, whether individuals' genes are selfish or altruistic, stuff like this. So what I would do is I would read through all of these quotes and then really try and think through, get to the gist of what the actual point is, and then distill it down to one specific point. So basically, once I read through all of this, the really difficult thing is really just breaking it down and getting to the gist of it. And finally, I get to the final point of the output of what I've really thought through, which is this final point for my note here. Natural selection is optimized for the replication of the entire gene pool, not the individual. So then once I have distilled that point down, then I would think about how it connects to other ideas in the wider context of my slipbox. So if we switch over to my slipbox view now, and then we see it here in my slipbox as a point, and then we can already see basically I would go in and then form connections to all other relevant ideas inside the slipbox. So it really strengthens the connections to those old ideas that I've already got, but also now this is not an isolated fact that I've just added, but it actually sits in a very specific place in my existing lattice work of knowledge. But a lot of the time, even afterwards, after I've written it and it's inside the slipbox, maybe a couple of days, even weeks or even months afterwards, I'll be like, oh, actually no, this connects to another idea in my slipbox, and then it's just going inside this slipbox and forming all of these connections, which I think is really, really cool, finding connections between ideas of like different subjects, different contexts and domains. So the whole point what I'm trying to make is that with my current setup and my specific use case, I don't have the issue of typing too fast and not thinking through my notes, because the system does force me to think about my notes very, very deeply, far more than even if I was writing it out by hand. And it even takes it a step beyond writing by hand, because as you saw, writing by hand, I wouldn't be able to so easily pull in quotes from multiple different books, multiple different sources, all there for me to just to scan through, to directly compare and really distill it down. So then the other thing is that handwriting is actually very enjoyable for me, but the issue is that it's very, very inefficient. And then you do have a lot of advantages just with digital tools like speed, searchability, accessibility. If you actually need to get something done, whether it's a project or distilling ideas, tools like Obsidian with the Slipbox is actually just superior. It's not even close. For example, even something really simple, if I want to just find a really quick note just to refer something, I can just press Command O on my laptop and within seconds I'll have it. Whereas, you know, in a physical system, I'll need to either remember it where it is, or I need to trawl through all of my notes, like hundreds and hundreds of pages of notes, just to find a sentence. It's just not very practical if you need to keep doing that over and over and over again. And of course, the other aspect of it is, as you can see, you know, I spend lots of time doing like these really beautiful notes. Like I'd spent a lot of time writing them in, you know, a very nice way. But the problem is I would never actually come back to them. So it's like, what's the point? You know, I'll write out these really nice notes, I'll file them away into their neat little folders, but I'll never actually come back to them. Whereas with the Slipbox method, because all of your notes are connected, every time you have a new idea or you need to refer to an old idea, it automatically triggers all of the relevant notes. So you're constantly reviewing them, you're constantly having them brought to your attention without you having to manually do it. And of course, the other thing, the accessibility point, the fact that it's synced across my devices just makes it so much easier. But a lot of the time a light bulb moment would come to me when I'm not conveniently just sat on my laptop. You know, for example, I could be in the supermarket, I could be doing whatever, and it's not easy. So being able to input it on my phone really quickly and have it synced into my Obsidian is just much easier and lower friction. So having said all of that and all of these technical advantages of these wonderful, crazy modern tools we have, I am still biased, as in I do still like doing things the old way, and any excuse I get, I still use my fountain pens, of which I'm a really big nerd, particularly vintage fountain pens. And logically it makes no sense. It takes ages to write anything, it takes time to fill up, my fingers get covered in ink, and all of these annoying things. It's just something about the idea of having a thought in your brain, you know, going through through your body, and you're making a mark on the paper, a physical mark on the paper that is always going to be there, that marks that specific point in time. So what do I actually use my fountain pens for? I mean, the thing is, it's evolved quite a lot through the years, but nowadays I would classify all of the stuff I write with my fountain pens as things where I don't know where it's going to end up when I start writing, if that makes sense. So as an example, it could be journaling or deep thinking. I find the act of writing quite therapeutic in itself. So what I like to do is I'll have a spark or an idea I want to that will kind of set me off. But as I start writing, it's not like fully formed ideas. I kind of think on the paper. So I just let my thoughts flow. And it's a specific use case that, in my opinion, you cannot really create fully on a digital system. At least it doesn't have anywhere near the same feel. So I don't really know the science behind it, but when I write something in my slip box, these are all ideas that I have already rigorously thought through with my kind of rational, logical brain, all of these things. So for example, if you ask me to explain any one of my ideas in my slip box to you, I could comfortably do that. But with the stuff I write by hand, it's more kind of stream of consciousness type thing. It's actually less conscious. It uses less of the logical brain. I almost let my thoughts flow onto the paper, and a lot of the time when I read back, a lot of it doesn't actually make sense. Sometimes there might be some nuggets on there that I might be worth developing a bit more, and in that case I would take that and put it into my digital system. So a lot of the time these are just like loose concepts. Maybe they're kind of like neurons that are trying to find some connections in my brain, maybe something like this. It's not really scientifically backed, but this is how it feels like. So I'd say that's the split for me. I probably only spend 10% of the time writing by hand, so almost all of my projects, so my newsletter, all the stuff I write, my notes, my slip box, all of that stuff is done digitally nowadays, and 10% handwritten. But the main thing is just whatever works for you. We all have specific use cases, so the main thing is just look at what your specific requirements are, and then you can just take the best bits from all of the systems around and build something that works for you. So I hope that was helpful. Do consider liking and subscribing if that was. It really helps me out a lot. And yeah, make sure you tune for the next one. Thank you very much for watching.